Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Box Score. I'm your host, Hayat. Today, we're breaking down 4 NBA matchups on March 4th. We're looking at Boston vs Charlotte, Clippers vs Pacers, plus a couple player props that could really move the needle. This is pure analysis and opinion, no guarantees, no promises, just me working through how these games could realistically play out if the data and situations line up. And hey, we've got a big goal here, 2,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the breakdown, stick around, and let's see if we can hit that milestone together. Alright, let's dive in and start connecting the dots. First I will analyze Celtics vs Hornets, and the lean here is Boston Celtics to lay the points. Look, the first thing I notice when I look at this Boston Celtics vs Charlotte Hornets matchup is the contrast in rest and schedule. Boston comes in at 41-20 on the year, 3-6-2-4-1 against the number, fresh off a 108-81 beatdown of Milwaukee, and Charlotte is on the second half of a back-to-back after being massive favorites against Dallas on Tuesday. Now, Charlotte's been a fantastic covered team this season, the best covered team in the NBA, and I get it, I really do. They've been making money all year, running their spot, hitting games you kind of don't expect. But if this matchup plays out like what I've seen historically against higher-level competition, there's a little hesitancy here. First meeting this season, Boston hasn't seen them yet, but the Hornets against teams like New York on November 28, losing by 28 at home, Detroit on December 20, losing by 26 in Detroit, Cleveland at home losing 94-87, and Detroit again at home losing 110-104, that's a pattern, right? They're fantastic against mid-level teams, but when they face opponents that resemble Boston in skill, depth, and experience, they can fall flat. And Boston's the more proven commodity over the long term. They're rested, they're sharp, and to be the man you've got to beat the man. One path I see here is Boston controlling the pace early. Charlotte, coming off a massive favorite spot against Dallas, maybe they go up big early, maybe they try to ride momentum, but if they look ahead even a little to Boston, it could bite them. And that's the problem with betting Charlotte every single game. No team goes 82-0 against the spread. No team covers every single game. And the Hornets, while fantastic at hitting value, have to take matchups as they come, and Boston's defense, their experience in high-leverage games, it connects here. Now, if this game plays out like Boston imposing themselves in the half-court, controlling tempo, forcing Charlotte to try and make something happen late, we're looking at scores around 113-104 or maybe 115-106. It's not a blowout, not a runaway. Charlotte's going to make a hell of an effort, they'll fight, they'll push. But the lean sticks with Boston Celtics laying the points. Yeah, that's why the lean sticks at Boston Celtics to lay the points. Next we have Clippers vs Pacers, and the lean here is Los Angeles Clippers to land the points. So, Indiana Pacers vs Los Angeles Clippers, and honestly, the numbers jump out right away. Clippers are 29-31, 32-28 against the number, coming off a 114-101 win over Golden State. Pacers are 15-46, 28-33 against the number, and just dropped 126-105 to Memphis, their 6th straight loss. That streak matters. 4 of the last 5 losses by double digits, last 4 losses at home with 19-plus point blowouts, 19 to Memphis, 24 to Charlotte, 21 to Philadelphia. That's just getting crushed, consistently. Then you look at road performance post-All-Star, 2 straight losses to Washington Wizards, a team that historically is 1-36 straight up in the last 37 back-to-back games prior to the All-Star break. I mean, come on. Indiana's road woes are glaring, 5-24 on the year, a lot of blowouts, not a team you want to see fighting back from behind. Clippers on the other hand, yeah, there's some questions, James Harden availability, Darius Garland's role, but in the last game against Golden State, Garland drops 12 points in 23 minutes off the bench, Kawhi Leonard puts up 23 and 8, Benedict Maiden continues to contribute, and the Clippers outscore the Warriors 72-47 in the second half. That's production. That's a team getting things going, turning the right direction. Historically, they're strong at home, especially as a home favorite, and what connects for me is Indiana's susceptibility on the road meets Clippers' home comfort and recent performance. This isn't a spot where laying the number is perfect, sure, but Indiana is almost unplayable on the road right now. One path I see here is Clippers taking early control, forcing Pacers to chase, and the game flows naturally to them landing the points without needing a runaway blowout. Clippers have the pieces, the numbers, and the scenario all favor them in this spot. Yeah, that's why the lean sticks at Los Angeles Clippers to land the points. Quick pause, if you've got an even one lean you like so far, maybe Boston laying the points, Clippers landing the number, or one of those Giannis or Chet props, smash that like button. It tells me these full slates are worth doing and helps us hit the 2K subscriber goal. And if you want to be part of this growing community and keep up with all these deep dives, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. It takes a second, but it means the world to the channel, and I promise there's more analysis coming that you won't want to miss. Now we are going to see our props. First one is Giannis vs Hawks. The lean here is 14.5 rebounds plus assists. Okay, that's the lean, 14.5 rebounds plus assists, and let me walk through why. Because if this matchup plays out like the numbers suggest, this connects in multiple ways. First off, Hawks against power forwards. I go straight to NBA defense position, power forwards, rebounds, 4th most rebounds in the NBA. Then assists, 4th most assists in the NBA to power forwards. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, you're giving Giannis a matchup against a team that allows the 4th most rebounds and the 4th most assists in the NBA to his position, and you're hanging 14.5 rebounds plus assists. That's interesting. Now layer in the context. Giannis is back in this game. He doesn't need to come back. The Bucks right now are not going to win the championship. So why is he coming back? One path I see here is legacy, intensity, playing hard just because that's what he does. He's a guy that wants to play hard. And if this game stays competitive, the minutes climb. People are going to look at the game log and say he only played 25 minutes in his first game back. But he was on pace for 30+ minutes. The reason he stopped at 25 minutes. They got blown out by 27 points. That matters. In those 25 minutes he still shot 18 attempts, still had 11 rebounds, still had 2 assists. And honestly, if Ryan Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr. knock down shots, those assist numbers look different. So 11 rebounds and 2 assists in 25 minutes in a 27-point blowout, that's the floor scenario. Now zoom out to the total, 231.5 points. Massive over-under of 231.5 points. Fast-paced environment. If this matchup plays out like a 231.5 game, the possessions go up, rebound chances go up, assist chances go up. That's why pairing Jalen with Giannis makes sense in this situation, because it projects fast. But what really connects for me is Giannis vs Hawks historically. Last 10 games. Sort by minutes. The stat lines, 17 rebounds, 6 assists. Way over. 9 and 5. That's 14 total, slightly under. 12 and 10 to 22, 14 and 9 to 23, 11 and 5, 16 and 8, over. 11 and 10, over. 11 and 3, slightly under. 18 and 10, over. That's 7 of his last 9 games against the Hawks hitting this over, 7 of 9. And some of these aren't barely clearing, they're smashing, 17 and 6, 16 and 8, 18 and 10. Massive rebound and assist games. So if this matchup plays out like it has historically, where the Hawks allow production to power forwards, 4th most rebounds in the NBA, 4th most assists in the NBA to power forwards. And if the game environment hits the 231.5 pace, and if Giannis plays closer to 30+ minutes instead of 25 because it's not a 27-point blowout, the math stacks up. I liked over 10 rebounds as well. The 4.5 assist line is there, juiced at 10, but when I look at the full picture, 14.5 rebounds and assists just connects more cleanly. The hit rate 7 of 9 against this opponent, the pace, the matchup profile, the 11 rebounds and 2 assists in only 25 minutes in a blowout. Yeah, what connects for me keeps landing on the same thing. That's why the lean sticks at 14.5 rebounds plus assists. Next, Chet Holmgren vs Knicks. The lean here is less than 27.5 PRA. That's the lean, less than 27.5 PRA, and I'm fading Chet for my third pick, so let me think through this out loud because there are layers. First, context. We just cashed 11.5 rebounds and assists in his last game against the Bulls. That hit. Now the line jumps to 27.5 PRA. Over his last 5 games he's averaging 29.8. So on the surface, 29.8 over the last 5, line at 27.5 PRA, looks short. But what changes here? Teammates. Shai expected to play, 30.5 points. Hartenstein expected to play as well. Hartenstein takes rebounds, takes assists. Shai dominates usage with 30.5 points as his projection. So if this matchup plays out like a normal Thunder usage distribution with Shai and Hartenstein active, Chet's role compresses a bit. Now layer in the matchup. Knicks versus power forwards, points allowed, third least amount to power forwards. Rebounds allowed, third least. Assists allowed, right around even, still bad, still bottom 10. That's a very tough matchup. So you have a line at 27.5 PRA against a defense allowing the third least points and third least rebounds to power forwards. That's not friendly. Now look at the history. Only games since 2024, 10p. Another game, 28 PRA, but that came playing 30 minutes. And minutes matter because recently we've seen 26 minutes, 28 minutes, and he often goes under 30 minutes. If he's sitting 26 or 28 instead of 30 plus, you're asking for extreme efficiency to clear 27.5 PRA against a team allowing third least to his position. And he's coming off a doubleheader. Only guy coming off a doubleheader. That matters for workload. Go back to January 4th and January 5th, last time he played a doubleheader situation, stat line 15 6 and 2. That's 22 PRA. 22 PRA. That's well under 27.5 PRA. So if this matchup plays out like that January 5th spot, where minutes dip and efficiency doesn't spike, 27.5 PRA looks inflated. There's even a mention of 27-12p, and I'm looking at that thinking it's just too high in this specific context. Rebounds and assists projection under 10.5 rebounds and assists as well, which kind of signals limited peripheral output. Season average sitting at 28 on the season. So you're asking him to basically match or exceed season average in a spot where Knicks allow third least points, third least rebounds to power forwards, where Shai with 30 and a half points is back, where Hartenstein is back, where he's the only guy coming off a doubleheader. Where he's recently at 26 minutes, 28 minutes, often under 30 minutes, and where historically against this opponent he has a 10p game and a 28 PRA game that required 30 minutes. One path I see here is limited minutes, tougher efficiency, shared usage, and landing around that January 5th 22 PRA type output instead of 29.8. And honestly, I wouldn't even be that surprised if he got ruled out in this game. But assuming he plays, if this matchup plays out like the defensive numbers say, third least points, third least rebounds to power forwards, and if the minute distribution mirrors recent 26 or 28 minute stretches, 27.5 PRA is a big ask. Everything lines up situationally, doubleheader, tough matchup, teammates back, season average at 28, prior 22 PRA in a similar schedule spot. So when I connect all those dots, it keeps landing in the same place for me. Yeah, that's why the lean sticks at less than 27.5 PRA. Alright, that wraps up our 4 favorite matchups for March 4th. As always, this was analysis and opinion only, nothing guaranteed, just me walking through how these games could play out if the matchups and situations line up the way they look on paper. I'm curious, how are you seeing these spots? Drop AZ in the comments and let me know which game stood out to you or if you're seeing something differently. And if you haven't yet, help us push to 2K subscribers, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future slates, props, and full breakdowns. More raw, no fluff analysis coming soon, same deep dives, same chaotic energy.